Hello, everyone. Adam here from Three Cat Radio, and today I have the Empress of Anarchy, Leah Raven. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm
Good,
fantastic.
good.
I've been to Mutiny today, so I'm well, pretty much amped up on adrenaline from that, so I'm good.
That's good. Adrenaline's good.
Yeah, it's been interesting to say the least.
Ah,
What have you been up to today, anyway?
just the usual, just chilling while I have the time to. Why not? Before heading back to bookings and work and the usual.
Can't blame you at all. Can't blame you at all. I mean, with your busy schedule, honestly, I wouldn't blame you for actually wanting to just take a little bit to rest.
Yeah, it's good time. It's good to take time to yourself always. At least today.
At least a day, yes.
At least today. At least
So
one.
let's jump into the questions. What was it that inspired the Empress of Anarchy to step between, as it is said, the squared circle?
To be honest, a lot of people have known wrestling since they were little.
Mm.
I have been one of those who hasn't watched WWE from a young age, who hasn't put their brother, sister, or uncle through suplexes or choke slams or whatever, who hasn't tried to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always been like, oh, that would be really cool. But yeah, it was realistic in the sense of I'm never going to be able to do that. But I wasn't aware that there is a UK version
Yeah.
in Indies. But yeah, that was something I never knew about up until I was, oh gosh, I was like about 18, no? How old was I? Gosh, about 21, I'd say. I'm going to say 2021. I'm going to say that I went to my first show. I enjoyed it. Like, it's like watching wrestling live. It was brilliant. It was really like, oh. Um, and then I kind of got asked that I look like I do something. I was quite broad.
Mm.
Um, and a lot of people said the same, like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I guess. And it took a few weeks, and in the end, I had to say, I box. I do boxing training. And everyone's like, oh, no way. Can you try our training? And I was like, no. No. Um, and in the end, I gave in. I did try my first one, and I tried the first one and never went back. And I've been in wrestling ever since, which is mad. But to say that I've never known a sport challenge you mentally and physically like wrestling does. So I'm always up for a challenge. So yeah, that was pretty much the first steps of me even entering a ring.
That's very, very interesting. Very interesting. What would you say like some of the differences would be from going from one fight sport to another?
Your mindset,
Yeah.
definitely your mindset. Before with boxing, you're in what I call tunnel vision. They're both the same. Your tunnel vision is that moment in a ring, like you're dead set on getting done what you need to. Um, but then with wrestling, there's a whole heap of stuff before that. So it's like you're thinking about what you've got to do, what you need to do. It's like, oh, you've got like the crowd as well. That's in your head before you come out. But the second you walk out, it's you're there. It's like a curtains can put literally, excuse pun, curtains opened kind of thing. Um, the feeling's very different as well. You can have a lot of fun, a lot more fun with wrestling, I think, as well.
Yeah, I believe so. I think so. I think wrestling's more catered towards entertainment.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But again, boxing's more physical, fitness rather than mental. So with wrestling, it's mental and physical, and it challenges everything. Um, it's something I've never done before, and I've never known anything challenging like wrestling does. So it's definitely very different to any kind of sport I've ever done.
Yeah, it's there's layers.
Yeah.
There's layers in wrestling. As you said, the crowd, the in-ring, the gimmick, if you can talk. There's so many layers on top that for you to stand out,
Hmm.
there are so many layers that you need to look at. And I only trained for a short time, but I know what the training's like, and you
Hmm.
do need to be wired. Like this,
Yeah, it's like nothing else.
I agree. I very much agree. Yeah. Um, Speaking of gimmicks, though,
Hmm.
it's stuck in my eye. Speaking of gimmicks, you yourself do have a rather unique gimmick in and of itself,
Mm.
and I think I'm not certain, but I think I may have said this to you before. I have said it to a few other people anyway. Um, when you've got the gimmick side, your
Mm.
character side down, that's what in my eyes anyway, the vast majority of the battle because that's the hardest part.
Yeah, I think with some of it, like you've just got to be yourself as well.
Mm.
As to me, getting the technique right first is definitely out there. Character and stuff comes later. You kind of just falls into place
Oh
with
yeah,
everything else. But yeah, I get
like
what you mean.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I've spoken to quite a few people who said that it can be quite difficult to get that character side. Try and because you need to hardwire it in your mind, don't you? You can try to
Yeah,
be this other person in front of a crowd, and that's when your heart starts going, isn't it? It's when you forget everything.
yeah.
But I do very much like your gimmick.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, it's not a problem at all. I do. It's dark, but not spooky.
Yeah. Originally, it was more to be well, like you say, dark.
Mm,
But sh what I noticed was I got a different reaction to what I was expecting. So I've kind of rolled with that reaction,
mm.
um, and people love it. So I think with wrestling wise, I push boundaries, but not to rule breaking extents. So yeah, it works. People like that character, and I'm really happy with that. It was completely different. Everything so far has been completely insane, completely different to how I planned it to be, and what's happened so far is amazing. I never expected any of this so far, so that's really good. It's impressive.
There's one variable you can never, ever truly 100% account for, and that's the crowd.
Yeah,
You never know how they're going to react to something.
yeah. I think that on top of the match itself is one of the most daunting things because if you don't really have that reaction, you can't. To me, I feed off crowd involvement. So the more they're there with it, the more I can proper be into it as well.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I find that if it wasn't there, I wouldn't be half as what I am now. So yeah, definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
110% a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's word of mouth as well.
Mm.
People enjoy a show, but oh, this was my favorite match, or this was my favorite match. Tell the friends, and there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy how word of mouth works, isn't it? As well, going from one promotion to another, it's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, massively.
It's crazy. It's like I've seen some crowd members at one show, and then I've gone to another, and then there, and I'm like, oh hi, how you doing?
Yeah. I do love that. I also love when I see I've seen this quite a few times actually. I've spoken to just random people at a show, who seem to be enjoying themselves. So I go over and we'll have a strike a conversation with these people, and you find out it was their first show. Like that was their
Mm,
first show. I'm like, oh, how was it? Oh, it's amazing. We're getting tickets for the next one, and that's the lightning in a bottle.
mm,
I love that.
definitely. Yeah, it's a good feeling when you've made someone's show that exciting that they're buying a ticket for the next one. It's a feel good factor, isn't it, when you hear that?
Yeah, massively. Yeah. So, what was the idea behind the gimmick?
There wasn't really an idea. I'm not gonna lie with that.
Oh,
um, well, initially it was very dark. So I was planning the whole dark person in a sense, not to give too much away, but it didn't go over that way at all. The crowd bought into what I was doing, how I was doing it. So we've kind of just, I wouldn't say wing it completely, but we've changed it up a little bit to kind of suit what the crowd are with. And yeah, I'm just being more me, I think, with a little bit of an add on. But yeah, it's just about being natural. I think whatever you naturally can do,
yeah,
show it off. So yeah.
yeah. I get that. I do understand that. Like, it's fans, isn't it? Like, you can never truly like tell where you're going with them. So
Mhm.
if it doesn't if it doesn't go the way you thought it would go, then yeah, the right thing to do would be to follow the tide, really.
Yeah, yeah. I work with them, so well, you know, when they start like cheering, going, you proper get into it, don't you? So
Mm,
I feel, yeah, like I say, I feed off them. The energy in the room that they create. Give us more, we do more.
yes, yes, I agree. Yes. Um, are you at AWF? You
Which one?
you had a I got a few actually, a few moments from AWF actually.
Okay. Oh, good.
Um, you had a great match with Katie Hawkins.
Yes.
Very, very good match. And then got hit a few times with a steel chair.
Standard.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah, I
wrestling.
remember that one.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, that one was different. So that was the first one with the steel chairs. So she
Hmm.
decided to get a weapon. What can I say?
Yeah. I've, I've had her on here, so
Ah,
I can I've already got her on here now, so I can
ah.
say it now. Sod her. You know, she's got the steel chair out, sod her. I don't need to go right back on it. It was
Oh dear.
it was a great match. The storytelling was brilliant, but I liked the storytelling with the size difference because she's a big, strong, bigger lady. Of course, you're a lot smaller.
Yeah.
You worked it very well.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. Like, it's like, what was the feeling going into that match?
Obviously, with you want to again, you want to have that reaction as well. You want to keep it upbeat as much as possible. For me, like you never know what's gonna happen when you're out there. So it's all with me. I just want to make sure I'm doing things right for them. So
Yeah,
as long as I do what I need to do, then I'm happy with that. If I do it well and they get the reaction they need, then I'm happy.
can't argue with that. And it produced success, so I can't argue with that. Few drunk people in the crowd, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
such is life, such is wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was good. As I say that, I do love and a lot of wrestling, I love the sort of underdog aspect
Mm-hmm.
of a wrestling match like that. Um, do you remember the lumberjack match?
Yes.
There was a moment where everyone was just scrapping, everyone was scrapping, just going hell for leather, and you were just stood there staring at Stacey Rose, and that image of you all these guys just fighting, and you just stood there like that was striking. I
Yeah.
was, I remember like because it was you were there, and I was sat there, just like
So what's going to happen here?
that. I was waiting for it, and you just walk over to her, and she runs.
Yeah.
If
Standard.
I'm not
Standard.
mistaken, she might have come behind Isaiah Quinn, maybe, and maybe. So what
Yeah. Yeah. I
you
think that
gotta
was, he looked at me and I just went, because he just got hit in the
do.
back and just fell in front of me as having a go at me. So it's karma, isn't it? Karma. Don't have a go at me.
That's the worst anyway. The
Ugh,
worst.
ugh.
Well,
I'll get Gorgon.
Ickis mask. Yeah.
I'll just take him on. It's fine.
Yeah.
Intergender singles. Let's go.
Oh, I mean, boxer. Boxer. Knock him out. All
Yeah,
right.
let's go. Let's go.
Like, was that your first lumberjack?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it like, can you imagine it being, was it like hectic to plan?
In a sense, when we say planning, we were just it was one of those you have to make sure that he uh he has to just Nate Reese just stays in the ring. Like he's not allowed to go anywhere. I'm like, okay. So you have obviously the people doing this either side of the ring, and when you get face to face, it just escalates, doesn't it? Ah, hello. Let's go. So yeah, it was just like, just make sure Nate Reese doesn't leave the ring. I was like, okay, it's fine. Come out, do my thing, end up getting hit with Stacey Rose. I get Gorgon as well. Isaiah Quid off, gets flattened in front of me. And great, great lumberjack, great first one.
Yeah, I mean, lumberjacks. It is what it is. Lumberjacks are what they are. It's a very rare match to see,
Yeah.
especially in the British Indies as well.
Mm-hmm.
It is a rare one. Yeah, I don't recall seeing many. I think it might be my first one live, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I haven't seen many.
But it was good. I remember seeing Nate Reese crawling through about five people's legs to get away from everyone. Like the weasel that the man is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a statement made. It's definitely a statement. Just everyone on the floor fighting, you just standing there. Impressive.
It's just like, you guys carry on.
Of
Got a couple of
course,
shots to do, but that's it.
because you were involved in I believe it was your first women's tag. No, that's wrong. Women's title match. I will get there at IWF in a triple threat.
Yes.
Jenny B, who stole one, Lana Austin, and Leah Raven at the Army Reserve Centre.
Yes.
And I that must have been quite huge to be told that you're in a women's title match. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And when I found out who was in there, even more so. Uh, even more so. I was totally up for it, don't get me wrong. But to be in there with Lana Austin was a big thing for me as well. Huge. Look who she's faced, look where she's been, look what she's done and achieved. So to be able to have that match with her and work with her is it's class. It's amazing. I have had the honor of working with her since then, and it's just so much better every time. I do really enjoy getting in a ring with Lana Austin, even if she is the meanest person ever. Uh, because it's one of those. It's a challenge, and it's always okay. Challenge accepted, and I will still get in. I don't look a challenge down at all.
No.
But it's always a learning thing for me when I get in a ring with Arnold Austin. Always.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I think well I don't think I know I've lost count on the amount of times I've given Lorna Austin praise on this podcast, but it's just it's because it's deserved.
Yeah.
She makes things look extremely seamless. It's an art to her, and she's mastered it.
Yeah, it's one of those. Like I could listen to Lana for hours, days, months, just of how and why she did what she did. So to be told that I was in a match with her and it was a title match meant a lot because already I'm like, oh my god, I'm working with Lana freaking Austin. Um, so straight away I know as well as just training with her, like she's my trainer. She's one of my trainers. Um, so to have that knowledge is completely different to actually stepping in a ring with her and doing that. You learn so much more. But it's just one of them. You can never get enough of information from her. It's crazy. But to be where she is and where she has been, it's just a whole load more knowledge. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you?
NXT UK, Japan, um, anywhere, anywhere you want to go, anywhere at all. And
She's
if
been.
you want to name a big name in wrestling, Impact, she's been and she's done it everything. She's done everything, and I, I, I couldn't argue with anything you just said. I genuinely think you've done everything right. And I think anybody would be a fool not to take in the knowledge that someone as talented and experienced as Lana Austin has. Uh, I think you'd have to be a fool not to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is one of them, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, I have just the utmost respect for Lana. Like she could come over to me and gone, you need to do this, 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 and I'd listen.
yeah,
Like I would do this, 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 and I'd listen. The respect I have for her because of where she's been is extensive. So yeah, definitely like one of my favorite people working at the moment. Definitely one of my favorites. Again, even though she's mean.
she is. She is. She's a queen
She's
of meme.
she is, and I'd still go back in again and again and again and again.
There it is. Lana Austin right there. That is it's right. It's true though, isn't it? It's
Mm.
true. It is true. Um, but you have had I mean, moving on, and I think we've put over them this mean person enough. To be honest, it's a bit too mean for us to be putting her over that much. Um, you've had an Odyssey debut,
I have.
a WF debut, I
Yep.
believe Future Shot debut. Am I
I
right?
have, yes.
And forgive me if I've missed off the plethora of debuts you've had. Is this the year of the Raven?
Oh, I think it's the beginning
Mm.
of the Raven this year, definitely. I don't think it's the year of just yet.
Mm.
I don't think so. Um, this is my second podcast that I've been on the entire time. Um, gosh, I'm still doing my first of everything.
Hmm.
So there'll be like the first time I faced a certain opponent, my first singles, my first tag, first lumberjack. Um, there's a few firsts I've still got to get through, I think. Um,
Ooh.
but I am actually appearing somewhere tomorrow. Uh,
As of
so
recording.
yeah, so that'll be very, very Very good, very good. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. Um, but yeah, I think it's time to bring out a little bit more Raven as well, coming the new year.
I like the sound of that a lot. I like the sound of
Me too.
that. Sure you do, yeah. Do you have any anyone like bucket list that you'd love to face?
Oh gosh. Um, Extensively. I was asked this question, who would I want to debut for this year?
Ooh.
Gosh, I can't remember when the podcast was. It was a few months ago though. Um, but I did this podcast and I said I'd see in Future Shock, and I've debuted for both now. So when they said who are your opponents, and I said, oh, it depends. I'm one that would happily do intergender because I don't think a label. Why? We don't call it male wrestling, but we call it female wrestling. I just don't, female or male, I don't mind. So I would,
Couldn't
if
agree
it,
more.
yeah. So if I would like singles with Lana Austin,
Yeah.
and that's one I haven't had yet. I recently had a singles with Harley Hudson, which was amazing. That was one of the opponents I wanted. Um, Gosh, there's so many. I would like female wise Chantal Jordan,
Ooh.
Millie McKenzie,
Ooh. Good
uh,
names.
Tonga, and Alexis
Yes.
Falcon.
Yes. You've teamed with Alexis, but
I
I'd like to
have,
see you face her.
I have. That was amazing too. I quite enjoyed that.
That was good
Um,
fun. Very good fun. Yeah.
it was very good. But yeah, I think who else? Yeah, I think they'd be my top four. I think.
Very,
Yeah.
very interesting.
Hmm.
Very interesting. I like that.
But for male,
Mm.
I'd have Chris Ridgway.
You know
um,
me.
Sam Bailey,
Of course.
of course, of course. Um, hmm, there was, yeah, so they'd be my top two, I think. But I'd also like to see me and RPD because we are come from similar backgrounds.
But from the same
Um,
cloth, yeah.
yeah, so I don't know whether I'd want a singles or a tag with RPD. I wouldn't mind that.
Why not both?
Why not both?
Us
Yeah,
wrestling fans are greedy.
oh, of course we are. Of course we are. Yeah, but yeah, I think they're the first ones that come to mind when I think, oh, of course, Gorgon. Why not? Yeah, I
Oh
just
yeah,
want.
just see you slap him. Just punch him. Yeah,
Yeah, I'd have Gorgon as
yeah.
well. I'd have Gorgon just because
Just
he's the
cause. Yeah,
worst.
yeah. I'm down for that. I'm down for a bit of Leah Raven and Gorgon. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Just because he's the worst. Why not? Let him. But yeah, they're the ones so far. There's like I could go on with a list of people I'd want to face, but I think they're the top ones that I'd have. The top ones I want to work to at least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's I mean, it's a great list. Really a great list. You
let's go.
shooting for the stars, and why not
Why not? Why not? You
aspire
only live once.
aspire to be.
Fingers crossed they actually want that.
Oh, they will. They will.
One day.
Wouldn't worry about that. They will.
We just have to see where we appear now.
Do you have anything you'd like to plug? Any shows or anything in the future?
Ooh. Well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend Infamous a couple of weeks ago.
Mm.
So I would like to actually get to debut for them because that was going to be a debut, and I was quite gutted that I had to not do that one. So that'd be really good. Um, Oh gosh, there's loads though, isn't there? So many. Russell Island is another I'd like to go and have a look at. Um,
Yeah.
I have always liked the idea. I know I think I've got a bit of a way to go yet, but Eve, I've always kind of looked at and gone, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's one I've looked at. I can remember Hardy made a debut for I think it was this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it's one I've looked at. It's like there's certain shows I can't get to because of distance and money
Mm.
and
Yeah.
work time. Just
Hmm.
but Pro Wrestling Eve does look like a solid show. Does look like a really good show.
Yeah, I've seen a lot about Eve, and it
Mm,
is just one of them that I was like, I'd give that a go to try and get to. So yeah, that's the thought. I would like to go back to Future Shock. Future Shock has got a very special place with me. So oh, of
yeah,
course, I want to go back.
yeah, yeah. It's got a very special place in my heart as well. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I do love Future Shock. I've not been for about 6 months, so 7 months now.
Hmm.
Been unable to attend, but
Oh gosh. Yeah,
it's a special place there always.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like, I still want to go back to the place I've already been. So LWF as well. I'll just say, oh gosh, I would like to go back to place I've already been to. PCW as well was
Yeah.
a one that I've gone to. But yeah, Infamous. I want to get to my debut there. I was gutted. Wrestle Island and Eve. So go back to ones that I've done and debut for some new. Why not?
Why not?
Why
Why
not?
not aspire?
Oh, always.
Leah Raven, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you ever so
Absolute
much.
pleasure. Oh,
Oh,
socials. Your socials.
socials. My
What are your
socials.
socials? Socials.
Oh, my socials. All my socials are Leah Raven. The actual handle is the Leah Raven. Sometimes it's the underscore Leah underscore Raven, and that is on Instagram and
Boom.
Twitter.
Definitely. Didn't forget. Thank you. It's been an honor and a privilege.
No problem. Thank you ever so much for having me.
Always.